if you're truly being taken for a ride and manipulated, and you're questioning your sanity, and you're feeling like everything's your fault, if it's a place of deep suffering for you, please reach out to us. Let us support you in getting clarity on if this discomfort is for you or against you. Because quite often in some of these manipulative relationships, they'll blame you for everything and you'll question your own sanity. And it's really good to have somebody professional who does this and succeeds at this to support you in knowing what you know. What if the discomfort you're feeling is actually growth? Allana Pratt here, host of the podcast Intimate Conversations and an intimacy expert for over 20 years, which means that I've done probably close to 20,000 hours of work coaching individuals and being coached. And it also means that I'm an eternal student, always growing and getting new certifications and taking workshops and making sure that I always remember to be a student as well. So in terms of growth being uncomfortable, yes, it is. I don't know about you, but when my personal trainer says, 10 more squats, you got this, girl. Or my yoga teacher tells me to, stretch in some position that's definitely uncomfortable. I know it's for my good. It's making me stronger, more supple, more, the ability to breathe through difficult things that translate into my life. So the same is very true with emotions. The same is true with our heart. It's a muscle in relationships. And I think the difference is, well, first, let's start with how science works and how this reality works. It's a duality, right? Night, day, pain, pleasure, chaos, order. There's always going to be this duality, right? So you can't have forgiveness if you haven't been betrayed. You can't have freedom if you haven't felt constricted or confined. You can't have incredible, blissful pleasure if you haven't also contracted and not let yourself be unapologetically, deliciously free, right? You're going to have two sides of all of these situations. So in a relationship, no offense, but you're batshit crazy if you just think relationships are totally awesome and perfect or they're wrong. No. Relationships are going to be equal pain and pleasure, equal challenge and support. That's normal. That's science. That's to be expected. I know that's not like whatever Disneyland, what it wants you to believe, but that's reality. Here's the key. Are the challenges, the discomfort, for you or against you? Abuse, against you, not for you, okay? Abuse, no bueno, not okay. I'm not talking about that. Discomfort in terms of being misunderstood, definitely for you to learn how to be a better communicator. Discomfort on not having shared values, definitely for you to discuss how, is this a deal breaker of not shared values? Like you want kids and I don't, like something very important like that? Or is it that I don't value being on time? You do. I'm going to leave for the party without you. We'll take separate cars. It's totally cool. No judgment here, but we have different values and we can work this out. So if the discomfort you're going through is downright like manipulation, narcissistic manipulation, physical abuse, verbal assault, like this guy, no, that's not for you. But pretty much everything else is. Everything else is an opportunity to speak up when you've silenced yourself. Stand up for what's true for you when you've settled. Sometimes what it is to let it go. Sit in your own fire and not react and learn how to burn in your own fire. Resolve your own unintegrated triggers from the past that your partner's just triggering in you. It's really not even them. They're just being them. I love being at my retreats, especially when couples come and I say, oh, so what's the most annoying thing about your partner? And they'll say, well, da, da, da. And I'm like, great, where do you do that? Oh, never. I said, well, just try this on. It wouldn't annoy you if you didn't have that same judgment of yourself, criticism of yourself, discomfort with yourself, unwillingness to forgive yourself. Like, think about it. If If you're a really shitty cook and someone's like, you're a pretty shitty cook, you're like, yeah, I know, I'm a pretty shitty cook. Like, there's no trigger there. You just acknowledge it. Or maybe you are a shitty cook and that just triggered you. Sorry, but maybe a better example would be like, oh, Allana, you have green eyes. I'm like, yeah, I know I've got green eyes. Like, there's nothing to be triggered about green eyes because it's just a fact. It's true. But when people start to, we could call it hit below the belt. When people start to figure out what you actually still are really ashamed about, and then they trigger it. That's why they trigger it, is because it's not healed. It's still something you haven't resolved. It's still something that makes you feel unworthy, not beautiful, not valued, fear of abandonment, fear that, you don't deserve, all that stuff. That's the only thing that triggers you. And our partners are wonderful gifts to trigger us. So look through the eyes of, what is this annoyance or trigger, discomfort? How is this for me? What is it an invitation to awaken within me? So that you can do the inner work and stop blaming them and start empowering yourself. And couples that both do this, both grow, both take ownership, both evolve, breeds a lot of respect, trust, and you grow stronger together. And then one day you're like, dang, I'm actually my best self because of you. Thank you. And that creates over time, in my opinion, devotion. Gratitude that's so rich and so deep and so profound that a glance across the room of devotion, knowing that your life has not been perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. But your amazing life has been inspired by the growth that your partner awakened within you. Feels good. Feels good to look back and go, God, look at all we went through, and we're better because of it. I love you. So if you are having trouble finding the gift in your relationship, if you're uncertain, excuse me, whether the discomfort is truly abusive, if you're truly being taken for a ride and manipulated, and you're questioning your sanity, and you're feeling like everything's your fault, if it's a place of deep suffering for you, please reach out to us. Let us support you in getting clarity on if this discomfort is for you or against you. Because quite often in some of these manipulative relationships, they'll blame you for everything and you'll question your own sanity. And it's really good to have somebody professional who does this and succeeds at this to support you in knowing what you know. Because we can't know what we know when our heart is so closed, not scientifically coherent, not open. We can't hear our intuition. And we often spin in our head, doubting ourselves, second guessing ourselves, driving ourselves crazy, right? And it's a downward spiral. So let's not spiral downward anymore. Reach out. allanapratt.com/connect is how you register for an intimacy breakthrough experience with Natalie, my incredible intimacy success advisor, who will tell you straight with deep compassion and listening what's really going on to empower your greatest successful relationships. We look forward to supporting you. All my love.